Hi YouTube, it's Monday I'm cooking by the way, Monday the 8th of August. People mentioned to me yesterday about riots. There's been quite a few riots through different parts of London that are still continuing in regard to a young lad that got gunned down by the police. Difficult to say why they shot him and why they didn't shot him, especially if there's guns involved. So I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but the police haven't really given the families much of an explanation, and that's where it escalated from, the fact that the police, some independent person's supposed to do it, I think, but they just didn't really give too much information out. But it seems, I was talking to a few of our customers, that a lot of us are thinking that this has gone beyond that now. You've got to remember that a police officer is a public servant. Okay, we put them into power to uphold common law jurisdiction. Common law jurisdiction is like not to hit someone, not to steal from someone, not to cause damage, loss or pain. Okay, that's the only law of the land that exists in England. That's what Magna Carta is, and that's what kind of similar to the Ten Commandments. There's another law in the land called maritime law, and you've probably experienced this if you've ever been on a ferry after you get out of the port. They then turn the fruit machines on because you're allowed to gamble. Maritime law is banking law, you know, law of the water, law of the sea, current sea, cash flow. When you go to court, you go and you stand in the docks. Where else are there docks? By water. So when you walk into a court of law and the magistrates ask you to stand, you're consenting to maritime law. You're consenting to represent your artificial person, which is namely your birth certificate. Okay? When a policeman is upholding common law, I've got no issue. I'm for policemen upholding common law. I'm not for policemen upholding private corporation law, which are parliamentary acts and statutes. Parliamentary acts and statutes are passed through the House of Lords and can be passed through the House of Lords by any private corporation. Okay, a lot of people are getting peed off with the government and their cuts, etc., etc., and the fact that a lot of people are not going to be receiving their unemployment benefit, etc., etc., and you know, are really struggling. When the government and the private corporations, the rich people are as corrupt as they are, right? The police are basically drones. They're private corporation drones. You know, we go on about Nazi dictatorships and Saddam Hussein and you know, all the other weirdos in the world, when in actual fact we live in the same dictatorship as itself. You know, our police are Gestapo. They're upholding common law as well as maritime law. If you don't consent to maritime law, it doesn't have to apply to you. You just have to know what to say. And a lot of people are getting fed up with that, and that's one of the other reasons why the police are getting a load of shit right now. You know, they're upholding private corporation laws, and you need to question yourself, right? If you've got a few £1,000, or you can give someone a backhander to get a law put through Parliament, that's all it takes. How's that justice? How's that, the law that we, you know, the land that we all fought for? You look at the Magna Carta, and then you look at America and its constitution. That's what that was there to protect them from. You know, it's similar with our Magna Carta. Why are we letting these criminals, you know, take more from the poor and give it to the rich? Because that's all we do. Take from the poor, give to the rich. Give the poor less and less, to the point where they can't actually be self-sustainable. And it's got to the point now where the government and the banking families and the corporations have let the stock market near enough crash again and said, oh, more cuts, from the common people, us. Yeah, and enough's enough. We've all had enough. I'm not going to go down the street and start smashing things up, because that's not who I am. I just won't pay my bills and won't buy from corporations. That's what it will come to for me. Global non-compliance. But unfortunately, the police and the army are Gestapo drones, and lots of people have realised that. Anyway, I'm going to go piss off. Just to recap then, so if maritime law is a consensual law and the police are upholding a private corporation law, the way you give consent in court is by standing for the magistrates. You don't have to stand. The other way you give consent is by giving the police a statement once they've read you your rights. If the police was threatening to arrest you under a statute, you could turn around and say, are you on your oath today, sir? And the police officer should know what you're talking about. And if he doesn't, inform him. I'm informing you that I do not give consent to maritime law. I'm a free human being on the land, and the only jurisdiction that I adhere to is common law jurisdiction. Are you on your oath today? And basically, just keep saying to them you do not consent to parliamentary acts and statutes which are maritime law, which the police will refer to as criminal law. Just keep saying that. The moment they say, I'm arresting you, just say, well, you arrest me, all you're going to get is no comment. Yeah? Let them carry on. Say they arrest you, no comment. Every interview, no comment. Do you need the toilet? No comment. Do you want a cup of tea? No comment. Do you want a phone call? No comment. Every time that tape's on, no comment. Don't sign anything to be released from the police station, because they have to release you after a certain period of time. You might have a bit of a long wait. The moment you say anything other than no comment, once they've read you your rights, okay, you have consented to maritime law. Okay? Not many people know this. A lot of people on the conspiracy edge have been, seen a side of it, as well as other people who just, know about law. And it's a fact. A Crown Court, the highest authority in this land, is a private corporation. A police department is a private corporation. These are public services. There shouldn't be no private corporation. The whole system is corrupt. And it seems that the people who are lower down the food chain, especially people who are on benefits, who are being told that if they lose their job and claim job seekers allowance, they can only claim it for 13 weeks. That's great. So if I lose my job, the government will only give me 13 weeks worth of job seekers allowance. I've worked for fucking about 25 fucking years and paid tax and national insurance. I've not had loads of operations and wasted loads of NHS pot money, but I can't get job seekers if I can't get myself a job for longer than 13 weeks. It's a fucking disgrace. I know there's people who do take the piss, but it doesn't mean the government has to come down on everyone else. Someone else took the piss, so you're all going to have to suffer. This is 2011, not fucking 1658. Why don't you just bring Henry VIII back? Put the fucking royal family back in charge, because I'm telling you what, they'd do a fucking better job. I would prefer for Her Majesty the Queen to be in charge of this country than David fucking cabbage-back toll fucking toffee-nosed, stuck-up, ignorant twat Cameron. Sorry, can't stand the man. Smarmy man. Ugh, horrible. Oh my God, he just really makes me, ugh. Don't like him. Just don't like him. Get this vibe about him, just don't like him. Might be pleasant to talk to, I don't know, but I don't like him. I don't like any of them. Sorry, am I anti-government? That makes me a terrorist. Ooh. George Orwell, 1984 come to mind, does it? Peace, love and light.